That's what our sages say, assuming you need. You can swim in the air, you can stroll on water, you can vanquish the world. However, understanding the developments of your brain is the most troublesome errand of all. Have you at any point believed that anything work you need to do, your brain works inverse to it? For instance, if you need to stop smoking, you take serious areas of strength from yourself. Yet after some time, your psyche pulls you back to a similar cigarette. And this doesn't make a difference just to cigarettes. We as a whole have numerous such exercises in our lives. There are propensities which we need to surrender. However, we can't surrender those propensities regardless of whether we need to. In any case, in the event that we put forth attempts and turned into an eyewitness of our brain, an observer to it, then at that point, we can get the stunt of our psyche. Also, on the off chance that we get the stunt of our brain without a moment's delay, we can leave any propensity. Or on the other hand, going against the norm, we can embrace some propensity like getting up or any such work which we feel lethargic to do in light of the fact that the essential point behind our propensities is our brain. We only see it from the opposite side. We continue to make suppositions, and later we are left with no choice except for to apologize. In the present story of Buddha, which I will tell you, you will come to be aware of whatever strategies by which you can get the developments of your brain well overall. You can be aware, you can notice it, and afterward address your propensities. When an expressive supporter had come to a master's ashram to get schooling, that follower used to listen less to his master. However, he was exceptionally anxious to share his perspectives. On one occasion, the master was examining contemplation, how reflection is finished, and what is the significance of reflection. The conversation was continuing. Every one of the supporters of the ashram were quietly paying attention to their master. The master was clarifying for him that you can do any sort of contemplation, yet to go into the profundities of reflection, you need to stir love inside your psyche. To understand what is going on inside your mind while you are meditating, you must constantly observe it. Before the master could finish his words, the expressive follower hindered and said, "Guruji, I have been noticing my psyche for quite a while. I'm noticing each thought going back and forth profoundly. I also comprehend it. However, despite that, my mental routines remain unchanged. I frequently fly late in the first part of the day, and consistently I rest believing that I will get up right on time, contemplate, notice my brain. In any case, I'm not ready. I have additionally examined this with my kindred followers, yet they likewise have no response to this. No one wants to talk to each other in this ashram. Everybody stays quiet. There is no conversation. How might we comprehend our psyche like this? How might we have the option to notice it? Except if we notice the contemplations of our psyche, our propensities for mind before others, don't talk about it, don't banter on it. Till then, at that point, how might we have the option to comprehend the psyche by staying quiet? All of these disciples, please share your thoughts with one another so that others can comprehend. What considerations go through their heads? What changes happen inside them during reflection? What they experience, at least while they meditate? The ashram ought to discuss these matters. That talkative disciple was asked by Guruji, "Why do you want to know the thoughts of others? What advantage will you get from it? Is it fundamental for you to know the considerations of others to introspect? What is to them? Indeed, what advantage will you get from this? Might you at any point respond to me on this?" The voluble disciple had no idea his guru would respond in this manner. He believed that Guruji is correct. What advantage will I get from this in the event that I tell others? That regardless of whether I know the contemplations of others or tell my considerations to other people, what advantage will I get from it? Can I grasp my own brain? That articulate devotee was entrapped in the inquiry raised without anyone else. He said to Guruji, "Gurus, if we can know what thoughts run in the mind of others, and by paying attention to these thoughts, then what can we do about it?" Despite the fact that he had no response to this, he wanted to emphasize his point in front of the other disciples. On the off chance that we notice like this, it will make it more straightforward for us to think. We can likewise notice our contemplations and our reflection along these lines, and we'll have the option to figure out our psyche. Is there anything you think one should keep in mind when engaging in deep meditation? Examining about how to notice one's psyche can likewise be gainful for different followers. Guruji asked him that guess the supporter knows how to contemplate, and he likewise informs you concerning his perspective, how he notices his brain, notices his considerations. Then, at that point, do you feel that in the wake of knowing this, you also can dive into deep reflection? Let me tell you one thing. If you continue to think in this manner, you will ultimately become entangled in the waters that your own mind has created. In the event that you come to know such a cycle with regards to how to go into profound reflection, then your brain will attempt to follow similar cycles. You cannot comprehend your temperament by being available in the present, rather your psyche will stay trapped in the contemplations of the cycle. You have given your psyche an undertaking to do, and your brain will continue to accomplish a similar work. How will you be able to observe your mind if you are also involved in it? You personally have become associated with your psyche. You, at the end of the day, have become one with your brain. Guruji told that you can comprehend your psyche just when you can take a gander at your brain independently from your brain. You can figure out the developments of your psyche by remaining from a good ways. Anything subject or thing you need to comprehend, you should take a gander at it independently. Assuming you become one with him, you will always be unable to figure out him. You will become one with him. Similarly, as you attempt to grasp your contemplations, yet while attempting to comprehend the considerations, you lose all sense of direction in your own considerations. Have you at any point encountered this, you follower? Nodding his head indeed, he said that Guruji, at whatever point I notice my considerations, exactly the same thing occurs. I become engrossed in my own thoughts. After some time, I recall that I was noticing my considerations. Then at that point after this, I become the onlooker of my viewpoints. I begin attempting to turn into an observer to it. Yet after some time once more, I become one with my viewpoints. During his explanation to all of the disciples, Guruji stated that an enraged person never has the ability to observe his anger, because he becomes one with it. He underestimates his reality, and subsequently he never perceives what this outrage is meaning for his brain, how this outrage will make his psyche miserable, and he will always be unable to see since he doesn't have the workmanship to isolate outrage from yourself. To enable you to become a watcher, a witness, and see everything in its true form, this is the purpose of all the practices. In addition, you become aware of the transience of all things and thoughts when you comprehend their true nature. Then at that point, you understand that every one of these are things that go back and forth. However, cognizance generally stays with the person, that diviner, that observer, that is watching, that is dependably alive. He never kills, he is everlasting. Furthermore, that is the cognizance. Cognizance isn't attached to anything. Cognizance is your awareness. Besides, you get the specialty of structure just through your cognizance. Consciousness will increase in proportion to your level of consciousness. Positively, you will actually want to see things by getting away from them. Subsequently, do less to raise your awareness, so you will actually want to see the real essence of anything through your cognizance. Gurudev was questioned by the disciple, "What are your words in some detail?" Therefore, it is understandable. However, we did not comprehend what we need to do to maintain a higher level of consciousness in order to raise our consciousness. While examining this, Guruji told that you just become quiet and begin noticing your considerations, your psyche processes, your encounters. Your experiences are temporary. They are temporary. They won't stay with us for very long. However, our mind continually tries to recall the same experiences. Your mind wants you to have the same good experience over and over again when you have one. Your mind keeps trying to get you into this experience. Your awareness becomes subordinate to the brain. The equivalent occurs with a cigarette smoker. The equivalent occurs with a liquor consumer. Anyone who engages in a bad habit experiences the same thing. His consciousness becomes a slave to his mind. If you have any desire to liberate your awareness from So above all else, figure out how to keep quiet. Figure out how to stay quiet. Your propensity for talking excessively, your propensity for gaining from others about their encounters will fill your brain more. However, to free your awareness, you should figure out how to purge your psyche. Assuming you void it, you will see the real essence of your awareness. Then at that point you will know how to raise your awareness by keeping quietness, staying cognizant. Staying cognizant is our genuine nature, yet we have failed to remember it in our psyche. By becoming accommodating, subsequently you need to liberate your awareness from your psyche. For this, you begin noticing the considerations of your psyche quietly. Begin feeling its insight. At the point when you become the observer of your psyche, you become the eyewitness of your brain. At the point when you become an onlooker, you understand that one idea goes into your psyche, another goes, a third goes, and similarly, as a group is strolling out and about, a horde of individuals is strolling. In the event that one goes, another comes. On the off chance that another goes, a third one comes. Correspondingly, in the place that is known for our psyche, those numerous contemplations continue traveling every which way. Be that as it may, progressively, we don't interface with them, don't stream with them, don't get lost with them, but instead we simply continue to look as an observer, and as you watch, all of those thoughts begin to gradually fade away. Also, from that point onward, the place where there is our psyche turns out to be totally unfilled. Also, presently, interestingly, we come to be aware of our cognizance, that our cognizance is our actual satisfaction. It is our inclination. In order to do that, we need to get rid of the weeds in our minds. You don't need to really buckle down for that. Simply continue to watch those contemplations. One idea goes, another comes, another goes, the third comes. Simply continue watching, continue to watch. Continue being an observer, continue to be a watcher. And keeping in mind that watching, those considerations vanish. However, in order to prepare for this, you will need to practice in silence. You should notice your considerations quietly. You should figure out the sensations of your brain. At the point when you blow up, when you're cheerful, you should stand to the side and notice at whatever point you lash out or blissful. Or someone has hatred for us. We get excited right away, and because of our excitement, we can't see those feelings apart. In any case, on the off chance that we don't get energized, stay cool and loose. Then at that point, we can grasp the sensations of our brain. We can know them. What's more, when we begin knowing the sensations of our psyche, then at that point, we come to realize that no inclination comes to us for eternity. There is a change of emotion. Happiness is not permanent. Sadness doesn't endure forever. Outrage doesn't endure forever. Disdain doesn't come 100% of the time. When we begin to comprehend these things, all of our emotions begin to vanish from our bodies, leaving only one love and one joy. We call it delight, and that is our real essence. Consequently to us, don't allow yourself to get caught in the stunt of your brain. Simply stand a ways off and watch, and quickly, your brain will totally vanish. Also, when there is no brain left, really at that time, could we at any point focus our psyche on everything? The work should be possible with complete focus. As a matter of fact, disintegration of the brain is the best way to enter contemplation. However long our psyche is predominant, we can't enter contemplation. Since when we feel like it, we will think. Additionally, we will not meditate when we do not feel like it. Also, it happens like clockwork. It is material in work. However, when our psyche is broken down, then, at that point, we can focus on each work, and reflection turns into our real essence, and it becomes awareness. The disciples were all pleased to hear this informed discussion. However, the master cautioned him that you are cheerful. You also have this feeling in your mind. You are getting a charge out of hearing these things. That's why you're content. However, nobody generally lets you know this, and to that end your brain is troubled. You cannot stay cheerful consistently. If you have any desire to look for genuine joy, then at that point to accomplish such bliss, then never get diverted. Start observing your thoughts and emotions by remaining calm, silent, and emotionless. From that point forward, you, at the end of the day, will feel that the cognizance which is it is everlasting. It never bites the dust and everything is temporary. They will reach a conclusion. They'll perish. They will be abandoned. Nothing is timeless in this world, but our cognizance. At the point when we bite the dust, the primary thing that leaves our body is our awareness. Therefore, it won't ever bite the dust. The master educated everybody and said that today we will keep quiet and focus on the considerations and sensations of our psyche. We won't engage with it. We will simply stand and watch it from a good ways. It is a piece troublesome, however with training you will become capable in it. Also after that, Guruji flagged everybody to ponder. Friends, how was this story for you? Do tell in the remark area. Furthermore, in the event that you enjoyed it, buy in and like this channel.